Hello everyone, it's Louise from Busy Mum Homestead. Hopefully you can hear me over the traffic that's roaring by my house. But I'm just sitting outside and I've come out to pick myself some flowers this week. I'm going to try and pick some of those chrysanthemums. I've never picked them before, so I'm not exactly sure how to cut them, but I have had quite a stressful week this week. If you can't tell, my face is probably looking a bit stressed and worn out because it's definitely how I'm feeling. And so I thought I might come out and pick some flowers and put them inside. Even though I get to look out of them at the window, I thought sometimes it's nicer to look at the flowers in the lounge room. So I'm going to do that this week, and yeah, and I'm not sure how much I'll do of a video this week. I have lots and lots and lots of jobs to do, so many jobs to do, and it's also why I'm feeling a bit stressed because I've been doing quite a lot the last few weekends and not taking a lot of time to rest and working full time. Yeah, I'm starting to feel a bit tired, but it could also be that I had to have a flu shot for work on the weekend, during the week on Thursday. And yeah, I could be just feeling a bit under the weather from that too. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do this week for the video. There is a lot I need to do. Like I said, lots of little jobs that just never seem to end, always piling up. So yeah, I'll take you along with what I can this week. I may even just insert an old video into this week's video that I haven't yet posted. I may do that. It'll depend. I do have quite a few things to do, so we'll see how we go. But anyway, it's nice sitting out here at the moment, just taking in a deep breath and looking at the view and the clouds and the sky. And it's a very overcast day here, but it's not too cold, so it's quite nice sitting out here and taking in a few deep breaths. And yeah, I'll show you the picking. Well, I'm not sure if I can show you picking and holding the phone while I do that, but I might just show you the end result. So, but yeah, I'm sure having a few mums in my lounge room will brighten my mood a little bit. So let's get to that. This is my beautiful chrysanthemum that sorry, I just sneezed, so my nose is a bit runny, that I showed you last weekend. So I've never had a chrysanthemum before, so I don't know if cutting them makes them grow more or whether it hurts them. But I don't think I'm going to be able to hold this and cut it at the same time, so I might just show you the end result. But isn't it beautiful? It's such a pretty colour. It's called a shabby chic, this one. Here you go. Here's the tag that I had in it, and I just saw it on the back. Oops, and I dropped it. Look at that. It does have remove the spent flowers to encourage further blooming and cut flower. So, woohoo! I think I'm doing a good thing by cutting the flowers off and taking them inside, which is a win-win. So let's do that. Look at that for a posy. Isn't that just gorgeous? I didn't cut them very long though, because they don't have very long stems on them. So I have left a few because I feel like this is way more than enough. Let's see how that goes. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, that's so pretty. This is actually a little old candle that I cleaned out, glass. There was a candle in it, and it's just the perfect little size. It looks like a little cup for the flowers, and isn't that gorgeous? I wanted to show you what I've been working on. So it's not really homesteading again, it's knitting, but yeah, if you're interested in what I'm actually knitting at the moment, I had a knitting business and took a back seat to that a couple of years ago, and I haven't really knitted a lot since 2 years ago when I pulled back from that business, just because I had arthritis in my arms and my wrists as well. So I do have multiple autoimmune conditions, and I have osteoarthritis in my spine, and yeah, some of my wrist where I kept knitting and knitting and knitting. And anyway, it's gotten better after a rest of a couple of years. So I decided to knit myself a jumper. Sorry, I'm just looking at the wool and the jumper for this winter, because when I was knitting so many things for everybody else and not a lot of for myself or my kids. Like they would have a beanie each and that's about it. So I decided to do a selfish knit this year and use up some wool that I didn't really like the colour of. A client would ask for this colour, and I used to do a lot of custom knits, so I was happy to order it for them. Anyway, I had a lot left over and I was going to give it away. And then I thought to myself, you know what, this colour's kind of not on trend, but it's not that bad. Maybe I'll knit a quick jumper with it. And for myself, for winter. And that's what I have done. I've nearly finished it. It was a quick knit. I've just got to do, I knitted a cardigan, so I've just got to do the neckband and button band and sleeves. And I might run out of the wool for the sleeves, which is okay because I don't mind short sleeve woolen things because I get quite warm. I'm used to wearing like a cotton thin cardigan and a short sleeve shirt for winter down here in Tassie because when we moved down originally, I didn't have a lot of money at all. So I just used what I had, and that's all I had at the time. So I got kind of acclimatized to that, which is fine. I think that's kind of cool. And yeah, so I don't mind. And now I'm, you know, in my 40s, heading into potentially hot flush regions of my life in the coming years. So I don't think having a short sleeve woolen knit will be too bad. I used to wear a vest in winter with a long sleeve jumper, a long sleeve shirt, sorry, and that would quite often keep me warm enough. Especially if I'm at home a lot, you don't need really heavy things. It's only if you're going outside, and most of the time you're ducking into the car and then into a shop or something, so you don't get that cold. Well, I don't. So anyway, I will show you what I've been doing, and my plans are, I've had to put my jumper on hold for a little bit with the neckband because I promised my daughter this year, she's moved to Canberra actually to go to uni, and she is a frog. She does not have, she just really feels the cold. And so I promised to knit her a cashmere jumper this year, but it was really, really fine wool, like really fine and small needles. And the pattern that I decided to do, or she picked out, was actually wrong and it wouldn't work. And so I fixed the pattern, but then I kind of lost interest in it. This was during Christmas and that, and I put it aside, and now I feel really guilty because I haven't done it, and I probably won't be able to get it done for her quickly for winter. So what I've decided to do is to make the same knit that I just made for myself, and then she'll have a jumper. She already has a woolen jumper that my nan actually knit me when I was 12, and it still fitted me in my early 20s. So I used to wear that to uni down here in Hobart when I was in Hobart. I'm not in Hobart anymore. And I used to wear it to uni, and she has that, but I wanted to knit her something. So I, years and years and years ago, I bought her a lemon coloured wool fingering weight because she had a little cardigan when she was younger that was really fine wool, and it wasn't, it was cotton, I think, actually, and it looked really good on her. The colour really suited her. So some years ago I bought a heap of yellow lemon wool because I was going to try and recreate that cardigan for her as she got older. I never got to it. So what I did with the wool I had was like a 4-ply, so a fingering type weight, lace weight type yarn. And I joined 3 balls together to make, that essentially makes 12 ply. so an Aran, just over an Aran weight. And I knitted my jumper with that. And so I'm going to do the same with hers because it's a 4-ply. So I'm going to join 3 together and make her a thicker cardigan. So my plan is to make this for her thicker and quick. And so she's coming down to visit me early July. So I hope to have it done for her by then so she can at least take a jumper back with her. And then I might finish off her neckband and all of that, then do mine. And then I'll do the other cashmere one that I was going to do for her, but I just didn't, I got a bit put off and overwhelmed with it because it was too much to try and think of and recreate the pattern myself when I pay for it. Like, I shouldn't have had to do that. But anyway, I will show you all of this. So, okay, so the colour's washed out because I'm sitting in front of the window, but that's the lemon ply yarn for her, or the lemon yarn. You can actually, now I'm noticing that it's gotten a little bit eaten, so I will have to watch that. This is the one that I've been making for myself. So it's kind of a brown colour. This is a Bendigo woolen mill, and I think the original one was Donkey. And then I had it's kind of like a pinky brown. And then I also had a colour mixed in, which I found, which is called Bark. I think it used to be Bark. And it's kind of more like a grey brown, like a darker brown. It's a bit hard to see in this light. Hang on. Let's see if I can... no, it doesn't really show, unfortunately. But anyway, so the colour's a bit off. It's just kind of like a pinky brown. So this is my jumper that I've made. I tried it on, hang on. So I don't normally clip it together, but I was wanting to try it on and see if it actually fitted, because I've actually knitted it in a smaller size than what I currently am because I am losing weight and I didn't have a lot of yarn. So I had to try and make it to the amount of yarn I had. So it is in a couple of smaller sizes than what I would like, but wool you can stretch. So, and I don't mind if I wear it as an open cardigan, it being wool. I probably won't button it up unless it's a really cold day. So as I said, I'm quite cold tolerant now, so I don't need something that's really, really warm. So anyway, I'll keep losing weight and I plan on doing that. And yeah, it will fit me. So at the moment, it doesn't have sleeves, but I'm happy just to do a quick ribbon band around that if I have to, if I run out of wool. And this is pretty much all I've got left. So I'm just going to focus on doing the button band, the neck band, and sewing it up and see how I go. I could potentially get try and find colour similar to this and knit a different sleeve colour, but I don't really think I'll do that. So that's mine. So I'm pretty much finished that. This is the pattern that I am making. So the full jumper, I was hoping she would pick that because it uses probably less wool, but no, she wants the cardigan as well. So this was a free pattern. I'll see if I can link it. I'm pretty sure it was a free pattern, or maybe not. Maybe I purchased it. I'll see if I can find the link again and post it for anyone that wants to knit it, not watch it. And so, yeah, so this is what I'm making, and I'm going to make her that too. She picked that out. So that will be done quickly, hopefully for her, with the yellow yarn, which still I think will look really nice on her. This is the jumper I'm meant to be knitting, Arabella pullover, and I paid for it. She picked this out, but as I said, yeah, there were quite a few mistakes with the cast on and the ribbing down the bottom, so it kind of put me off. Hang on, I'll see if I can find what I've done. So again, yeah, this is like a 1-ply weight. So I also had to join together
the yarn. I got it off Temu because it was cashmere and it was really cheap, but it's really, really thin. It's like a 1-ply. So I had to join it all together. I didn't do much. I really basically just started it, and it was at the time of her year 12 graduation at the end of last year. So anyway, I didn't end up doing much of it. It looks nice. I think it'll be nice once it's done. I just decided to knit a few things in the meantime. So it's all going blurry. Yeah. So anyway, let's have a lazy weekend and enjoy the rest. Like I said, I had a really stressful last week. The actual last few weeks have been a bit stressful with some things that I won't get into. So I really feel like I need a bit of a break this weekend. So I'm going to sit here watching YouTube this weekend, and I haven't really done my hair, sorry. And just sit here and enjoy chilling for the day. It's already 1 o'clock. We got up late this morning. My son didn't sleep well last night. And so he woke up really late, about 10 o'clock or 10:30 this morning. So we've had a late start to the day. But I am going to enjoy sitting here and knitting for the rest of the afternoon. Okay, for any newbie knitters out there, I thought I would take you through what I'm actually doing. So as I mentioned, the yarn used in this pattern is King Cole Ultra Soft Chunky. So I looked it up and it was about an Aran ply, which I think is about a 10 ply. So a little bit over is not too bad. I did a swatch of it so that I knew what size needles and stuff to use with the yarn that I'm using. So I did that for my original jumper. So I do recommend that if you are switching out yarns that you do a swatch. I'm not someone that does it very often, but I will do it especially when I'm switching out yarns just to make sure that I have a similar size. So it is important then in particular. So my daughter, so what I'm picking, this is her measurements, which her bust is 87 centimeters. She's about, she's really a size 8 to 10, but she has a big chest, let's just say. So it makes it a bit more challenging, and she has hips like a mum, but she is really petite. So it makes her a bit challenging to fit. She is quite small. She's only like 5'4". So it does make her a little bit challenging now. So her bust measurement was 87 centimeters. And so on this one, you'll see that it says to fit chest sizes, 81, 86 centimeters, 91. Now, technically, I probably should go the 91 because that is 87 is bigger than 86 and smaller than 91. However, when you look at actual measurements, which is the amount of ease that's in the jumper, she could actually fit into the smallest jumper here easily. And it would just be tighter on her. It wouldn't be as loose. So we could definitely go this size. However, when I'm looking at the sizing, there's not a lot of difference in, like, there's 6 centimeters, which at the end of the day isn't a lot of give. So, sorry, my son in the background playing games with his friends online. So I've decided to go the one in the middle. So I'm going to do the 86 centimeter to fit, which is a centimeter smaller than what she actually is in the actual measurements, but it'll give her 3 centimeters of ease around, which just means it's loose by 3 centimeters around her. So in case being at uni, you know, she puts on any weight, which, you know, you can do with bad food and things, I think it'll be a good fit. If I went down to this size, which would fit her, the 94, it may just be a little bit tight. So I'm going to go with the second sizing. If I go up to 106, I think that'll be way too big on her. So I will go with the happy medium of the one in the middle. So that's how I'm choosing what size to make. And actually, yeah, I think that'll be quite nice on her. A little bit loose, but not too tight. And it gives her a bit of movement in things, so it should be good. So for this, I need 5 balls of the original yarn, and I am going to make up 5 balls. So I will, so her body length is actually a lot shorter than this, but I'm also thinking that I will keep it the same length. So I measured from her shoulders down to her hips, and it was about 47-48 centimeters for her. And this is measured at 56. So it's going to be 8 centimeters too long for her. But again, I don't think it'll matter too much. It'll just go over her bottom a little bit more and keep her warm, I'm thinking. And she could also fold up the button band if she needed to. So I don't think having it 8 centimeters too long should be too much of an issue. Although I might actually shorten it by a few rows when knitting. I might still do that yet. I'll get back to you on whether I do that or not. I'm in 2 minds at the moment. If she was here, I would try it on her when I was making it so that I could really get it fitted to her size. So I'll just see how it goes. But I'm going to show you through how I'm going to make 1 ball out of 3. You can do this on a yarn winder, but I don't have one. I just do it by hand. And you are better to make it into 1 ball rather than knit with 3 separately. I just find when I try and knit with them separately, they get knotted a lot easier, and you end up spending all your time trying to unpick those knots as you're knitting along, and it gets very frustrating. So I find it always better if I'm joining yarns, like to make another ball, to size up the thickness. I always do it at the start when I have 3 balls. I just find it works easier, and then as you're knitting through, it seems to hold together really well and you don't seem to get the knots. So I'm going to show you how I do that. It's really simple. But yeah, if you have something you want to make and you don't have the thickness that you want, you can always do this by adding 2 balls or 3 balls together to make that thickness. But you just need to make sure that you have the amount of total balls. So you would need double the amount than what the pattern calls for, basically, to get that thickness, if that makes sense. So you would need, if it says you only need 5 balls here of this thickness, but say I was only using 2 balls to make up the thickness, I would need 10 balls, if that makes sense, so that I got 5 balls of the extra chunky. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's just to help out any knitters that are starting off. And yeah, it's a great way then, I find, of using your stash up so that you don't have to go out and constantly buy new balls of yarn to fit different patterns. If you have enough of something that you can make up with a different color even. So sometimes 2 complementary colors look really nice together. It gives you that variegated type look of a ball. I often do things like that just to make things different and use up what I have. And there's nothing actually wrong with that. You just, as I said, really recommend doing a swatch so you can get your needle sizing right and make sure that you have the correct amount of stitches, and all of that with the yarn. So that just becomes really important to do at the start. And I just forgot to mention, so when I start a pattern, I always go through and mark out my size before I start. So for example, we come down to here, and this is where we have different measurements for the sizing. So for me, I'm at, I think, 77 on this one, but Madeline will be 71. So I'm trying to do this on camera. Hang on. I don't think I can do it on camera and do it at the same time. I don't think I'm that clever. But anyway, I'm just going to go through with yellow because I'm knitting her yellow. And I've marked most of mine in pencil. So I just go through and mark all of these before I start the right size, so that when I'm going through the pattern, sometimes I forget what size I'm doing, especially if I've put it down for a while and come back to it. So I just find that it helps keep a track and you know where you're at, for which size, which number of things that you need, if that makes sense. So I know that for Madeline's, I need 71 stitches here. Mine, I would have needed 77. Cast on 74 stitches for Madeline instead of 78 for me, and that kind of thing. So it just helps you when you're working through the pattern, know which one you're at in case you forget. Oh yeah, see over here I've done mine in pencil. So I'm just going to go through and mark, even though now I know that she's the first bracket, and I might still remember that all the way through, but there are times when you do forget. So it becomes important to, I feel like it's just a step that I do that really helps you later on, especially if you put down the work and then come back to it at a later date. It just helps you keep track of everything. And that's my little tip. Okay, hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to try and record it. But this is my handy little bag I found at Vinnie's a long, long time ago. And it's become my knitting bag. And when I'm joining, so these are different die lots. So it's also good when you can use them up in doing a pattern like this, because if you have different die lots, it won't matter if they're joined together. You kind of create a little bit of a variegated look. So anyway, I find it easier when I'm joining them to do it inside the bag, and then that way they don't run off on me too much. Where is the end of this one? There. So I just like to pull them out first and sort of make sure I've got that going. Okay. Oh yeah, that was that broken one. Where is it? There it is. So literally just join them together, and I find this kind of work therapeutic, doing this kind of stuff. Maybe not everyone agrees. So there, we just got the 3 balls joined together, and what I'll do is I'll just pop them inside this bag, as I find it just helps. And I'll just lift up my legs so that it doesn't come off, and I just sit that in the bag, and then it just tends to keep all the balls in there so they don't run off a lot across the floor on you. And literally I just join it like this and keep going around my 2 fingers for a little bit, pull it out a little bit, the yarn, like this. Oops, and it came out. And then I'll get to about that much and I'll take it off my fingers, and then I'll pinch it together, and then I'll just join it round and go this way. And do that for a little bit, and then I literally just go opposite and do that. And then I'll continue doing this until the entire ball is done, and I'll bring you back so you don't have to watch me do all of this when it's done. The tree outside my window, I'm starting to see the little buds from the leaves. It's so exciting. Thanks again for following along. Don't forget to subscribe. Love you guys. See you guys next week. Bye. Welcome back. And done. And now I just need to do that 5 times over. But I find it quite good to sit here and do that while watching TV. It's quite easy to chill out too.
thought I'd show you my progress for this afternoon of knitting this. So yeah, not too bad. Okay, so it's actually been 2 weeks since I did all of that video, and I have just about completed the back of her jumper. So I'm just about to start shaping, like in the next row, the neckband at the back. So literally only got like 5 rows to go of the back, and we will be finished. So that's quite a big section. You probably can't tell from there. I did go, I think it was like 10 to 15 rows shorter than normal, than what the pattern suggested at the back for her. Hang on a second. But I think that should be good. And so yeah, I just wanted to update you with where I was at, and let you know that that is almost done, and I've just got to do the front sections and sleeves. So hopefully I should get that done in the next 4 weeks for her. It might be a bit of a quick go at it, like I might have to rush and do the rest to actually get it done, but we will get there. So I just want to say thank you for watching this video this week on me getting this jumper ready for my daughter. I will take you along and hopefully show you when it's done and finished. So if you want to stay tuned for that, please subscribe so you can see the updates for that. Next week's video, I'm going to be doing some cooking from scratch for the house, so you can stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, I just want to thank you for being here, and thanking you for spending some time with me today in watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye everyone.